Hello and welcome everyone back to the channel. My name is Ryan. Today I have a very special guest with me to talk about House the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 2. It's my cousin Kelsey. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting. I love to gab about nerd shit specifically, so this is
Yeah.
like my
That's
dream
exactly
come
why
true.
I asked you to come on. Yeah.
Thank God. Hi, good morning. Good morning,
Yeah.
peoples.
Before we start, how about you tell the people where they can find you, like your social media pages or a certain podcast that you have
Sure.
too?
Yeah. So I am one half of a podcast called the New to Wrestling podcast with me and my best friend Xavier. He is a lifelong wrestling fan. And I am new to pro wrestling. So we have like a Monday Raw rewatch show starting in 1996. We're on 1998 now. And we just started a new segment called New to the Temple, which is covering Lucha Underground, which is huge, amazing, interesting, very fascinating. And we also are big in the independent wrestling scene and interview a lot of independent wrestlers in our local scene. But yeah, that's where we gab. It's the N2, like the number W podcast on all socials, pretty much. And yeah, that's where you can mostly find me.
Well, again, thank you for coming on. I just wanted to have someone to talk about this
I get
because
it.
I love House of the Dragon so much, and I just love the world, and I wanted to bring someone like mine who I knew could bring some fun conversations to this review. So,
Thank you. Because normally we're just gabbing at the shop. Like we're just like in the kitchen, like either cutting soap or doing whatever. And we're just like, and I can't believe what? Yeah, hold on. Like I can't believe we're like, doing whatever.
exactly,
So this is like nice. So we have a contained space to just yap.
yeah, for sure. So before we start this review, guys, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, look for Kelsey's podcast as well, New to Wrestling. And let's get started.
Woohoo.
Let's start off first with just our overall thoughts on the episode. So, Kels, I'm going to let you go first. What do you think of episode 2?
I mean, it's I want to first start by saying, like, before we even get into characters and things like that, and also I know these are fictional characters, but just let us say what we want to say, okay?
Exactly.
Just let us say what we want to say and act like they're real people making decisions, okay? So
Yeah,
let me level set there.
that's the beauty of
Um,
fiction.
yes,
Yeah.
but I mean that scene with Rhaenyra, and also obviously spoilers ahead, people, but
Yeah,
that scene
spoilers.
with Rhaenyra, and I mean she ate that up. I was bawling. It was I am such a freak where I love such an accurate portrayal of grief.
Yeah,
Like the other one that comes to mind is probably like Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the episode that her mom dies. Like such an accurate portrayal of grief is so crazy amazing to me. Just I think really interesting in a lot of ways. I think like the acting was amazing. I think the some of the decision making of the characters is really confusing me in a lot of ways, but I
mhm,
think that what's interesting about this episode, especially how it ends, is I know that in the text that House of the Dragon is based off of, a lot of the like yeah, team green, team black is very like ambiguous in who's like quote unquote right or wrong. And I feel
exactly.
like the last two seasons have really been more like you're kind of more able to justify what the blacks are doing more so than what the greens are doing. Like it kind of does
Mhm,
lead you that way. And I do think that the end of this episode is like it kind of gives you the flip of it where it's like,
mhm.
ooh, we might be transgressing into some like weird dangerous territories, like mental states, especially with Rainier and Damon, like so in sync now. Though I did love that scene where they're coming into
Oh,
the castle and like moving as one. I was like,
that,
this is the
that's the Rogue Prince
this
right
is the
there. He's
Damon
meant
from the Stepstones I needed. Like this is
exactly.
the manic, like I need that feather thing back in his hair, the horsehair thing
Yeah,
back in his
yeah,
helmet,
on his
girl. I
helmet.
need the whole thing.
Yeah,
But I also the cinematography incredible. There's sometimes where I'm like, are they being too heavy-handed with the how obvious like the storytelling is? Like for example, the end with the blood and stuff, but it's like no, because it's brilliant. It's so brilliant.
exactly.
It's almost like that same thing with Daenerys and the dragon at the end of Game of Thrones with like the wings and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
some people would say it's heavy-handed, but also it's incredible and beautiful and interesting and like just amazing. So overall, in terms of plot, I'm very curious to see where they're going to go with this now. And obviously, we have the historical texts. But Ryan and I, before we were talking about this, before we started recording, were saying like how interesting it is to have a show where you can really expand on what you think the details are, as opposed to where you have Game of Thrones, like the books, and it's so detailed. So it's like
Exactly.
interesting to see where they're going to go, even though we know there's certain main plot points they're going to hit. But overall, I agree with you when you're talking about recording. I think I like this one better than the first.
Yeah. The thing about the first one, the first episode of season 3 was, it was good, but some of the decisions, like, there were some things that were going on with Rhaenyra that I was like, it's kind of like a carryover from season 2. Like, for me, at least for season 2, like, I was deeply frustrated with how they were writing Rhaenyra, at least for like the first 7 episodes before she actually like takes action, because for a majority of the season, she's kind of floundering like Viserys would do in season 1. He's just like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Like, you got to take the power. You have to. And when she finally does, it's like, okay, we're finally getting somewhere. But it almost feels like the writers are like kind of scared to like lead Rhaenyra down that road. It's like they have to keep putting these obstacles where it's like, oh, well, she doesn't want to do it, but she has to. But then she feels the power, but then she like feels regret after. It kind of feels like they keep teetering on like, it's almost like they don't want to repeat like a mad Queen Daenerys situation, like at the end of season 8, where like she almost the writers almost like intentionally make her just like do something so evil that the audience just immediately goes back on her.
Yeah.
But you know, with everything that she's been going throughout the series, it's completely understandable that she would start taking heads and you know, claiming more of her big dragon energy.
Yeah, BDE.
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, and not to like harken back to like because I know we're here to just talk about this one episode, but like I do think in a lot of ways, like Viserys really, I mean, he failed in a lot of ways.
He did.
But I really think in terms of preparing her to rule, he failed in so many ways. I mean, because she was like in court all the time, but like rarely in the small council meetings. She was rarely in like, and again, that could be a lot of her own fault as well. We know she was a reckless, whatever. But to your point, I actually, and I know a lot of people will disagree, and maybe not. I mean, I feel like real like House of the Dragon, like Targaryen people, it's like, if you want her to be crazy, let that bitch be crazy. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll like let her hit full send. I'm gonna watch and probably love it anyway. And like, Daenerys is a whole other subject. That's a whole other like hour-long video we could have. But I agree, and I think it's interesting that especially with Daemon bringing up the prophecy last night when Rhaenyra was like really in her, you know, pits of grief. Like, it's interesting to harken back to that specific person, obviously, and like the prophecy is very heavily influenced in this episode, which is great. I love that. I love the return of like prophetic Targaryen energy.
They're putting fantasy back in the fantasy show.
Yes, and I was like, prophecy, it makes complete sense for me that Daemon would believe this, because he is like an old class Targaryen. Like there's a huge like prophetic dreams and visions and dragon magic and sorcery. Like that's a huge part of Targaryen culture, like for lack of a better term. And so I of course 100% believe that Daemon would be like, well, yeah, I saw a vision of like, I saw the prophecy, I know about it, and like, so we have to just like see it through. Because again, they are like the living embodiment of a prophecy that was true, like the Doom, and now they, you know, rule in the Seven Kingdoms. Like that was what was true for them. So it makes complete sense, not to like totally tangent, but yeah, I mean, I am very curious again, like with this quote unquote Mad Queen Rhaenyra, because it does feel like they're pulling it that way. But I really wish, like you said, they would just hit full send. Like I kind of understand her floundering like previously. But because I think she just really didn't know what it was going to cost. I don't think she was really understanding, like, most people were actually going to disagree with the line of succession, even though it was put in place by Viserys.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. But
no, it makes complete sense though, because the war is so deep in already, like we can't keep flat. We have to lock in. We have to. And the great thing about this episode is that Daemon is the one who does it for her, which I think is like he's like, in many ways, like he is kind of the devil on her shoulder, pushing her towards this.
Yes.
But instead of, you know, kind of in season 1 and season 2, where he sometimes plays like the adversary, because they're so perfect with writing Daemon, like he's, you know, he's a villain and a hero, like perfectly, like it can teeter either way for him.
Yeah.
And with this episode, what they did so brilliantly, I think, is that, all of his therapy that he went through in Harrenhal,
His
he
his what is it, EMDR or whatever?
Yeah, he's on like a full ayahuasca trip in
yeah,
season 2.
literally.
Yeah. A lot of people hated it, but I actually really enjoyed Damon's
I
arc
loved
in
it.
season 2.
I think you bitches are weird if you didn't like that. It was I thought it was so
It
interesting.
was so magical and fantastical, and like that's all I wanted out of my fantasy show.
And it's Harrenhal. Like, bring back the actual spooky oogie of Harrenhal, because I don't think we talked about it enough in Game of Thrones, like how actually like haunted and creepy and weird like and like complimentary Harrenhal really can be. And so I loved that they brought back this like crazy, drippy, wet, weird, dark,
weird with
damp,
trees all over everything.
Yes, the like ooky spooky, and the Riverlands, girl. The Riverlands are so cursed in like Game of Thrones lore. Like, if you make it out of the river, like you get stuck in the Riverlands, or you make it out, and this is why. Like, there's so much discourse about this, but like I loved it. And not to interrupt you, but like I loved that whole little sequence.
Yeah, and I just like the fact that now Daemon is channeling kind of like his darker tendencies into something more positive and more powerful. There. Now he's uplifting Rhaenyra, where he's like, the prophecy I saw, the blonde, the silver-haired girl in the desert with the dragons at her breasts. Like, he's really hyping up the prophecy that, he didn't believe Viserys like would talk about prophecies, and he's like, oh, that's fucking bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
But now, like, he's instilling that in Rhaenyra now more to get her back on her feet after the loss of Jace.
Absolutely. And the only way you were gonna get Daemon into any sort of like onboardness is to break him from the inside psychologically. Like, there was no one that was gonna be able to tell him, like, outside of that, like, you have to do this for Rhaenyra, or like whatever. He literally had to go through, like you said, like the metaphorical ayahuasca journey from inside. Like, he had to tell himself basically through like the Targaryen like prophetic visions and everything, which again, I really, really loved all of that. And again, it's the only way you're ever going to get Daemon on board is if he internally believes it of himself, and like how he's a part of it. No one telling him anything outside of himself is going to ever scratch the surface. Girl.
He does not bow to
he has to kiss his mom in his visions, and he has to do whatever, and then he'll finally get on board. And you know whatever.
Exactly. But you know what? The big difference between him and Aemond is that Aemond is fully embracing it, whereas Daemon he looked visibly horrified in his vision when he realized, oh my god, I'm fucking my mother right now.
Oh my god, that was crazy. And I was like, this is not happening. This is not happening. And Allison, girl, she also another incredible actor, because she was like the emotion. Olivia, God bless her. Like, the emotions in that scene, I was like, you could tell she is fucking terrified of him. And it's the reckoning of like, these are my offspring. Like, I grew these humans in my body and like gave birth to them and raised them.
She clearly she fucked up in a lot of ways as a mother. Because you see in the first season, like, she's not a very warm person to them. Aegon clearly has deep wounds from her not getting the affection that he wanted. And Aemond has developed a severe Oedipus complex. And
completely
for a Targaryen, that bridges on extremely dangerous limits that even they aren't willing to cross, like mother and parent, which is
I feel like the adage of like, when a Targaryen is born, God flips a coin. I feel like for Daemon and Aemond, it's like every day. It's like every day they wake up and the coin is flipped if they're going to be a psycho or they're going to be like normal today. And for most of the time it lands on like psycho, which is fine. Again, I love to see Aemond be exactly who he is. And again, like you said, he embraces it and like is just full on psycho. Like, I'm leaning in. Like,
exactly. Yeah, Aemond was great this episode. In episode 2, that's great what you said about like the gods flipping the coins for the Targaryens. For me, Aemond, he's just stuck on, like, he's fully embraced his evil side. Like, it's almost like there's no going back for him. Like, he's decided his path going forward. He's like, I'm just going to be a terror to everyone around me.
Yeah, and that's an evil I can get behind, because there's thought, intentionality, strategy. He's studied. He's like actually paying attention. Like, I'll never forget when he ate up his brother Aegon in that small council meeting last season. I don't think we'll ever forget. I mean, a brilliant read. But it's great too, because it also proves it doesn't make him better to rule just because he's like studying more, like learning more. He's also still just unstable. Like there's so many, it's such a great conversation about like what actually makes a good ruler. It's like you can read all the stuff, you can be incredible at battle, you can be smart, you can be ruthless, whatever, and you still actually might be completely incompetent.
Exactly. And the great thing with the interesting thing that Ewan Mitchell, who plays Aemon Targaryen, what they do so well is that you can constantly see he's like hiding his rage beneath him, but in his actions, it's when you see like, oh, this guy's severely fucked up.
Yeah. Like first, oh my god.
He burns Aegon and his dragon Sunfire. Then he proceeds to torture his brother last season when he's like a whole misery situation.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Completely.
And now he almost killed the Grand Maester last episode, just impulsively in the middle of the castle, in the middle of the Red Keep. And then in this episode, he commits atrocities. He commits war crimes. He like murders people in the Riverlands. He kills all the Strongs. He murdered Simon Strong, so fuck him.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the I loved that too, because again, it's when I like have that moment where I'm like, are they being too heavy-handed with the metaphors? But the way that Aemon takes Harrenhal in the same way that Daemon did, only the outcome is just like we murder everybody. Again, like it's carnage, again, it's like that moment too where it's like, well, like Daemon's crazy, but he also has like the foresight of like, I need the Strongs because they, you know, they're a huge influence in the Riverlands, like blah blah blah. And Aemon's just like, I just don't give a shit, I'll just kill everyone. Like, because that is his way of authority. At least like, and again, it's that thing with the blacks versus the greens where it's like you have that moment where it's like I just feel like at least the blacks like have a moment of caution, whereas Aemon is like the loose cannon, and he's just gonna, especially when he has the biggest dragon in the world. He has Vhagar, who is gigantic, who is the oldest dragon, like, and obviously has a we know from previous seasons, like we'll just disobey and kill and whatever. Like we just, and not even intentionally, we don't know that the old girl's just old. But and God, you know, thank God to Vhagar, love you, girl. No shade to you, queen. But I like, it's just people so interesting.
Her, Nana Vhagar. She's a grandma.
Nana Vhagar. Oh my god, I love that.
A lot of people are saying she's probably senile. She probably thinks Aemond is her first rider, Visenya. So she's just confused all the time. Just like,
and I get it. They have the same haircut and everything.
Yes. He's like, Visenya, you lost your eye. Are we gonna burn the Dornish now?
Literally, Visenya. Oh my god, girl, what's up? Literally, I love Vhagar, that old bird. Yeah,
the design for the dragons too. Huge upgrade, I feel like, from Game of Thrones, because they didn't like differentiate Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion. They were kind of just all carbon copies of each other with different shades of colors, and they've done a great job with all the designs. Like, I think Caraxes, Daemon's dragon, is my favorite design. The blood.
Really? He freaks me out. I think only because he's so creepy. It like completely matches the aesthetic of Daemon. But he creeps me out. His like weird little back legs, like his long ass neck. I don't know. He scares me. Like, but again, that's the point. Like, the point is that he's literally called the Bloodworm. Like, that sounds horrible. Yeah. It's awful. And then like Moon Dancer with her little like spider design things, like so cute, like
dragon
sweet.
Moon Dancer, yeah. And then Vhagar, she's just like an old T-Rex.
A geezer. Yeah, literally. She's like an old
Komodo dragon.
Literally, oh my god, legit. And like the holes in the wings, like she is so brilliantly designed, and like all the netting and stuff that's just like on her.
She's so big, like you have to like really climb down of her.
Completely. Yeah. I will say it is an absolute crime we don't see more of Moon Dancer. No, Dreamfire. Sorry, Dreamfire.
Dreamfire. Yeah, we've still yet to see Helena's dragon, because in the source material she rides Dreamfire a lot, but we haven't seen her at all. And
this is my biggest crime. To me, one of the biggest crimes in this series is that, especially in this past episode, when Helena, and I know we have to like talk about other things, but like when Helena discusses. Like when she goes and they're like stand down with Allison, they're like, stand down, we're not going to shoot down any dragons. She literally says, I want no beast harmed. And her thing is like, she loves insects, she loves little creatures. Like, she's kind of, you're telling me that Helena doesn't want to ride her weird little creature? You're crazy. Exactly. Even if not into battle, like the fact that Helena seemingly has no relationship with her dragon at all is insane and freaky to me. Like, why would, especially, we've already blown the budget on the dragons. Like, just give this girl a dragon and let her ride around in her little weird ways. I love Helena.
She's great.
She's so
They
great.
did a big and huge, like a huge improvement on her from the source material, because like there's like 5 sentences that describe her, and the fact that they gave her like she's a dreamer and she sees prophecies and she's like a bug girl, and she's a little socially awkward, but like she means well.
Yeah.
I and the actress who plays her, I forget her name, Fia Saban, I think her name is, but she's great too.
Yeah,
Even
brilliant.
then, like with Dreamfire, even if they don't show her like flying, why don't they just show her just hanging out?
Yeah, like I'm like, you're
showing her bugs
me,
to her dragon, just like
that's
chilling.
what I'm saying. I'm like, you're telling me this weird little creature girl is not gonna love her weird little creature dragon? Like, you're crazy. Like I feel like she would spend most of her time in the dragon pit, like in the like caves, like with her dragon, just like braiding her hair and like talking shit about people with her. Like I just feel like they would be homies. It's like, to me, a huge crime that they don't have her just like have her little dragon friend.
Although I'm really liking the season so far, there are some questionable things. I'm like, why are we still not doing these things? Like the whole thing with Allison's other son, Daron, like why is he not introduced yet? They've talked about him every season, and now they're like, oh, we're finally gonna get him this season. Where is he? We only see his dragon. Like I don't know if they're like plotting certain things, or I don't know.
And I'm like, is he not? I was literally like, is he not cast? Like, where is he? Like, I know he is, but I was like to the point where I was like, was there a casting issue? Like, where is the boy? And when the episode happened last night, at first I thought it was him, like in the green, like little doublet kind of thing behind what's his name, whose name is escaping me, from the high towers.
You talk about Otto?
No.
Oh, in the first episode, Ormond.
Oh, Ormond. Yes, thank you.
So there's actually a theory that they're hiding Daron. Like they have his hair dyed, and he's with Ormond to hide his identity, to like protect him from when Rhaenyra or Daemon try to find him. I don't know if that's true, but if they do end up doing that, I'm like, okay, I understand that more. If they're like, they want to like keep like a huge like, oh, mystery, like unveil, like plot twist kind of moment.
Right.
But
and I'm trying to figure out, because did you see the coming attractions for the teaser for next week?
I did, yeah.
So was that him in it? Like that blonde child? Like that? It's like, who knows? Like,
yeah, that's one of the theories, that it might be a fake out. Like they're pretending. Okay. Yeah.
Which
would be
brilliant.
Cool. But at the same time, it's like, could we not have like shown him in season 2? Like, yeah, like, oh, Allison, you have a son in Old Town. And like for more casual viewers, like, what the fuck? She has another son? What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, completely. Like you don't, no introduction, no understanding, no like a letter from Old Town saying he's doing well, like literally nothing. But
yeah,
sure, he's supposed to be like the golden child, better than everyone, but I guess we'll see.
Who was your MVP of the episode?
It's so funny because the first person I'm thinking of is Alice, but only because like God, she's so fierce. She literally just like pops up. That was yesterday's episode with the 3 dragon riders, obviously Hugh Hammer. Oh my God, why are all their names escaping me?
Hugh Hammer, Ulf the White, and Adam.
And Adam.
Yeah,
and she just like bastard. Yeah, and she just like appears and is like, I'm a witch, and you guys like gotta go. So
exactly.
I'm really excited too for the mythology of the God's Eye.
Yeah.
So psyched for that. Again, bring the fantasy back to fantasy. But honestly, she's my favorite. The way she just stands there as Aemon is bleeding out and he has to like crawl to her and like beg. And she's a huge part of this, like on the back end. I mean, again, think of why Daemon is back with Rhaenyra. All the men of the Riverlands are loyal to her now. Like, she is a huge piece on the back end of everything. And even in this episode, like the little pop-ups, she's still making huge moves that like nobody is really clocking. Like, you know what I mean? She's so interesting to me as a character, especially like the lore of her being a witch, the lore of her just like not being afraid of men and like their positions of power. She really doesn't seemingly have an interest in the quote unquote Game of Thrones. She mostly has just an interest in like what the 3-eyed raven or the trees, the weirwood trees have to tell her and like what's going. I don't know. She's just very interesting to me. And I don't know why she's the first person I thought of for MVP of this episode. But I'm gonna stick with that. I'm sticking with it.
Okay. I definitely see that though. Alice, I've really enjoyed what they've done with Alice. I don't know. There's just something so spooky and kind of like weirdly kooky about her. Like there's something kind of like chic and fun, like her little Scottish accent. Like I don't know. She's cool, and I really like the scene with her and Damon actually talking right by the God's Eye where Harrenhal is. And yeah, her motives for why she wants Harrenhal are kind of unclear.
Yes.
To me, I think she wants it for the magical purpose.
Completely.
There's so much magic and there's so much like just lore going on and like mystical astral projection things happening there. And
yeah. I mean, I think it's crazy she asked for it. Like, I'm not going to lie. When she was like, I want Harrenhal, I literally went, girl, like out loud. I was watching and I was like, girl, they're not giving you like the biggest castle in the Riverlands. Like, that's just not happening. Biggest castle ever, mayhaps. But like, that's not happening, baby. Like, maybe say like, can I live here? Can I stay here no matter what? Permanent resident, but like give you I love you, girl, but that was crazy.
Yeah. Even Damon pointed it out to her. He's like, well, you don't have a name. You don't have a royal lord husband. I don't know if I can just give you fucking. You
don't even have money. Like, you don't even have money. Yeah. Like, yes, you are a great help to me. Super grateful, but like, on paper, I just can't do that. Like,
exactly.
What about you? Who was your MVP?
It's the Rogue Prince. It's Damon. He was for me, like, this was the most I've seen Damon like being clear-headed. He knows what he wants. He knows what he's gonna do.
Yes.
He's standing up with Rhaenyra. They don't have any more conflict going on. And he's just locked the fuck in the whole episode. First, we see him partying it up with the Winter Wolves and Oscar Tully after the fish feed battle. I was a little upset they didn't show the fish feed battle because like apparently it was like one of the biggest like coastal battles.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool. They did like a fun little song. That's cool thing. Like they've added like some of the humor back into like the world of Westeros, especially like with Night of the Seven Kingdoms, like a little bit.
Yes.
So that was cool, and especially too in the source material, there's so many like things about like music and song and make merry. Like it's the fucking medieval era. Like this is the shit that made people like entertained with each other, and that was really cool. And then kind of like see him like go from like that party mode. He switches immediately when he gets the letter that Jace has been dead, and he's like, "Listen, we're going to Harrenhal. I mean, not Harrenhal. We're going to King's Landing. Everyone go there. We will be the Queen's fist, and we're not fucking around right now."
It's amazing.
You could see that he was hit a little when he heard that Jace died. So he was like, you know what? We're channeling that into getting this throne then.
I loved that, honestly, because, again, Jace is not his real son. Like, like it's not his natural-born son. Obviously, it's not, Valyrian's son either. Larys Valyrian's, right? Larys.
Laenor Valyrian.
Yes, Laenor, sorry. It's been... I'm like, girl, where have you been?
It's okay.
But it's not like, I think it was really interesting to see that level of humanity from Damon because obviously like he has his own natural born children with Rhaenyra, including like a son. And obviously he's very young, but I think that was a really...
Here's 2 daughters too.
Yeah.
That, we haven't seen him be the best parent, which I don't know why they did that. Cause in the source material, they say like he was a great father and all that. So,
and I think there was glimmers of that, like, earlier on, and then it's weird. It's like Bela and Rhaena like don't even exist to him anymore, which is so strange. Yeah. Especially because Bela is so enmeshed in what they do on the day to day. Like Rhaena, obviously, she's supposed to be away with the other kids, but she has her own shit going on. But it is weird. I think that he's not as involved as a parent with them. But yeah, I mean, Damon, it is so interesting, like his change since last season and like really clocking into just being there for Rhaenyra in every possible way. And at least Damon is smart enough to understand that like if he's not going to be the king in the story, he's going to be like one of the most pinnacle pieces and will still be remembered. I think what Alice's point to in the previous season about him, which he really, it's kudos to him for just like letting it like settle in his bones, is like you can either be this like loser usurper that like tries to take the crown from your wife and like from your brother, and you're just always this like unsuccessful usurper, or you can be like a successful husband to the rightful queen and like go down that way. And also again, just like this, he does truly care about the lineage of the Targaryens, and so seeing that the prophetic vision either way. But yeah, Damon, incredible this episode. He's, again, you get that reminder of that Stepstones versions of him where he is an incredible soldier. He's very brilliantly military minded. And he will just like, fuck it, we ball. We ride for the castle and keep, girl. Like we're just going full Monty. Exactly. I do love that about him.
Yeah. I mean, he was he was aura farming every second of this episode. Like he was just
Period.
yeah,
Yeah.
like and even like when he goes to talk to Rhaenyra, like consoling her after Jace's death, he's like, "Will you let our children die in vain?" Like he's like, "Listen, I know you're hurting right now. I know you don't have the stomach to do this, but we need to do this now. Vhagar has left the city. The city is undefended right now. We need to take our dragon seeds, our dragons, and we just need to go and get this done." And him walking down with the armor, her council is still so fucking annoying. There's like,
I hate them all. My God.
they're like, "My queen, you can't." Like, okay, how many times are we gonna do this? And then Rhaenyra finally, she's like, "I'm done talking." And they're like, "Well, who? You know, what if you get hurt or something?" Damon's like, "She has me." I'm
Period.
like, the best.
Like, really? Who are
the
you
best
people?
uncle husband ever.
Best uncle husband ever. Ooh. But and also too, it's like, did you not just see what just happened? My son literally just died saying the same bullshit to me. So like, we're done now. And I thought we would get more of this last season when she slapped the shit out of that guy and was like, my problem is that I forgot you forgot to fear me. Exactly. And I thought that was going to be really but again, she kind of like edged back. And I will say it sucks that Rhaenys is gone. Rest in peace to a real diva. Yeah. Because she really, I think, understood Rhaenyra in a lot of ways, though she did impress upon her to proceed like with caution and like wait a little bit more. So there is, now that she has just Daemon pretty much as an influence that she'll listen to, I think it'll obviously be more full steam ahead, which we see at the end of this episode with Otto Hightower. But I don't know. Her counsel sucks. I'm happy she's like at least doing her own thing now. I do think this is insane the way that she takes King's Landing. Like I think this is like, this whole thing is so wild. Like this war is so crazy, like bloodshed everywhere, and then she basically just walks into the Red Keep.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like finally we get the payoff after 2 full seasons. Like this is what we wanted, and like it's so perfectly done. Like the way they stroll into King's Landing, you know, the guards drop their swords, and she's like, "All right, Alicent upended her. She did her part in the bargain." Damon's like, "We got to go inside and see what happens next." And he's just effortlessly cutting down men. The quote from the book is, "6 men or 60, he is still Daemon Targaryen." And he's just,
amen.
Yeah, he's just aura farming constantly. He's cutting down, like he's protecting her, like they're walking in like a fucking power couple. It's like, this is the shit I've been wanting to see, and it's perfect. It's just so well done. It's like just well satisfied build up and like a perfect release.
Yeah, and I think that it's great to have Rhaenyra and Daemon together in this way, because it's like, again, they've known each other their entire lives. They literally share blood in maybe way too close of a way, but it's like they also shared an upbringing in a lot of ways, like to again like pull from that to the point where they're literally like one body. Like when they walk through there, they're like one entity, one unit, and it makes that like Targaryen like sixth sense that they have, or even just like even again like growing up or just being close to someone like in such close proximity for so much of your life, being raised in the same ways, or similarly. Obviously, Rhaenyra and Daemon were raised in different ways, of course, but like in the same family, the same lineage, like everything like that. I think it really comes through, especially again, I'm so glad we're really tapping into Daemon being such an incredible fighter. I feel like it's been a minute since we've seen Daemon like really just do the big one. Yeah. And I always love to see it. Like he's just so calm, so decisive in his movements. His fighting style is interesting. The way he bobs and weaves and is always aware of Rhaenyra. When the city guard comes in and he's like, "Stay close to me."
Oh, that was the best.
He's like, "I will literally try and kill everyone in this room if I have to." Yeah. Like I will. Like I'm not even afraid. He doesn't hesitate. It's so great. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the City Watch, because I mean it will depend on, you know, how Daemon is with Rhaenyra, because they're mostly loyal because of Daemon. Because like they're loyal to Daemon Targaryen who appointed him, but like if he stays loyal to Rhaenyra, that's not a problem. But it's like if Daemon decides to pull a fast one or something, like the city guard is probably going to follow him. Exactly. So I'm really curious about how that is going to play out.
It's interesting because, you know, when they first get into the throne room, it almost has like the Daenerys parallel from season 8, where it's like it's like she's finally here. And like with Daenerys, she was so willing to get there, but with Rhaenyra, she still has that hesitancy. But then when she has like that defiance where like the gold cloaks come in, they're like, we swore to Daemon Targaryen and the heir. It's like that sigh of relief. But then we still have to go through the more trials of like, now we got to take out Otto. We got to like show the lords of the Red Keep that we mean business. And only then when she gets to, and this time actually Rhaenyra actually gets to sit on the Iron Throne instead of Daenerys, who didn't even get to, which is an absolute tragedy.
Completely. I mean, I think it's interesting because it's almost like she now has no excuse. Like, it's so hard for her to take it. She keeps going like, well, I can't actually do it until, and obviously it's true. Like, she really shouldn't do it until Aegon is dead, or at least there's like some symbolic. I don't really agree with Otto Hightower, but I'm sure we'll get into that. But I just like, I get it, but it's almost like she's like, well, the City Watch is here, I can't. And they're like, no, we're loyal to you. And then she's like, Aegon is still alive, I can't. They're like, you can kill Otto Hightower, it's fine. And just like the cost of it. And I think also it was so brilliant when she was like laying in bed mourning and she says like, my 2 sons dead for what, like a chair made of swords? Like, who really cares? And obviously Daemon reminds her of the bigger picture, but it is hard to see like the bigger picture of like just a chair when your children have died for this, like what seems like seemingly so unimportant, but it's really like the cost and the burden of prophecy literally weighs like physically on her when she goes to take the chair. It's like so crazy how well she does this, like the blood on her feet, like the crawling, the holding her son's sword, like crawling. Like the sword was great too to have while she's going on the throne of swords. Like it was so
it's almost
brilliant.
Like she's cradling it too.
Yes, and like how much it costs her, and at the same time, like walking up and sitting on it is the easiest part, and yet the physical toll. It was so brilliantly done, but it's just so weird. Like I don't know, it was so crazy because it's like all this buildup, and you're like, holy shit, she's like really sitting there. But like there's so many moving parts still, because even like the fact that Larys is the one that imprisoned Otto Hightower and yet is the same one that smuggled Aegon out of King's Landing. It's like there's so many moving parts still. So it's like, yes, you have it, but there was a huge cost and it's not done.
Larys is playing both sides. He's playing that. He's like little fingering the shit out of this whole situation. Like, I'm going to protect Aegon, but just in case if I need to get in the good graces of Rhaenyra and Daemon, here's a deal sweetener, Otto Hightower for you.
But also it's like, to me, if I was Rhaenyra, I'd be like, okay, so you imprison this old man that, yes, was intrinsically difficult in my life or whatever, but like the bottom line is you smuggled out one of the most serious claims to my reign. Like to me, and we know it's him. Like everyone's like, Larys took him. Like we know. There's not any doubt.
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret. Obviously, Aegon was like too weak to have done it himself. Like, so it's, to me, I would be like, okay, well, the bigger piece is that you took away one of the biggest contention to my seat, and what you left me with Otto Hightower, not enough insurance. I'm coming for your ass. Like, that's just, to me, stupid.
Yeah,
because in the grand scheme of things, like, what is Otto Hightower to me at this point? Because what he really was is a source of information. And the fact that we killed him immediately is crazy. Not one question. We don't have one question for him after literally the former hand of the most important person that is missing right now is just in my throne room, bound, my prisoner. We don't have one question. And the father of the woman who basically let me walk in here scot-free. And we're just going to botch behead, which I do love that they did that. I do love that they didn't make her like incredibly talented with the sword immediately. Like we always knew that wasn't her strong suit, which is fine. And it's just like, I love Otto in this moment. He's like, can you let Daemon do it? Because I just like don't want
I just want to go quietly.
I just don't want it to be a botch job, a hack job. Like, please don't do this. But like,
I will say I was happy to see him in a little bit of pain on the first hack.
Of course. I mean, I hate Otto Hightower as much as the next girl, but I think what a waste of a source of information.
Yeah, I feel like it's a tragedy because like Otto, like he still is a piece of shit and he's such a conniving, like just worm. But he was so entertaining, Rhys Ifans, who plays him, that it's like we couldn't have had him just like a little bit more, and then we chop his head off. But I
Completely.
kind of get what they were doing. Like he's an old broken man. It's like, all right, just put him out of his misery. He's already caused so much damage in this war and the dividing of the factions between Team Green and Team Black that it's like, let's just be rid of him already. And Damon's been ready to kill him since season 1, episode 1, and he
literally, and honestly, same in a lot of ways. Pawning off your child to an old man so that you can have like a position of power.
Your 15-year-old daughter to 40-year-old King Viserys.
Literally disgusting and weird and strange. Poor girl. But also, it's like, again, he was the hand of the king that you usurped, though he was replaced obviously by Christian Cole, who I absolutely fucking despise. But I just feel like we could have asked a few questions. We could have even just be like, so why were you dismissed? Do we know? Like, can we talk about this? Like, because he was the hand when Aegon's son was killed. When like the whole, like, I mean, there's just so much. I feel like there was information to be gleaned. I feel like a really amazing like tete-a-tete between Rhaenyra and Otto Hightower after all this time would have been very fierce. Like Otto, who's literally at the bottom of the barrel, been imprisoned in the black cells, and he's still just that sass, whatever. Like he just has that dry ass, like I'm surrounded by imbeciles type of dialogue between him and Rhaenyra alone in a room. I think would have been so fierce. And her just to get her like, I was literally a girl. You put my best friend with my father. Like, I don't know. I think there could have been something very more satisfying there, but also that is one of the best part about Game of Thrones is that like sometimes you just don't get the satisfying end. And that's so reflective of real life despite the fact that it's fantasy. It's like sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah. And things will get cut off short when they needed more like fleshing out.
Completely. Yeah. But crazy.
Yeah, and the fact that she beheaded Alicent's father, and then
Alicent walks in.
Yeah, Alicent walks in. I love Emma Darcy.
Yeah, my God.
Just the way they act is so interesting because in that moment when they see Alicent, she like completely just crying. But then, like, in the split moment, she's like, you know what? Fuck it. She puffs her chest up slightly. You see it so slightly, which is so well done by the acting. And she's like, yeah, I fucking did it. So what? Like,
also, it's like, girl, I also did this for you. I mean, I don't think you wanted to marry my elderly father, like, and have his kids. Like, I don't think this was the life that you, obviously, because Alicent is going through this renaissance where she's realizing that she's been a pawn her whole life. And now she's trying to take her life in her own hands, including and by proxy taking Helena's. But I think that there's this moment too where it's like, yeah, well, he wasn't exactly your favorite person either. So I think this is like a severing
for living hell
for both of us. Like I think this is a kind of comeuppance for both of us in a lot of ways. And also you knew what the cost of this was going to be. Yeah. And Aegon's not here. I'm sorry, girl. You were literally willing to sacrifice your son. Sorry, your dad had to die also in the mix, but it's not like he was much of a loss.
Otto Hightower's head will suffice as an appetizer before I get to my main course, which is beheading your son, Aegon.
Absolutely. And honestly, Aegon is so extra crispy right now. We needed a little appetizer or something. Him and
Larys on their little road trip it's going to be interesting to see. It's kind of got like a little bit of a Dunk and Egg feel, like a little
completely.
Like they're on this merry band journey where like they're kidnapped and they escape, and it's like
they're just like it. And that scene was really funny too, where the people from the Triarchy like come and they're like Larys looks out the window and he's like, I don't know what this is. Like where he literally is like, hey,
I didn't put this in my calculations.
Yeah, he's like, but. Okay, like, and Aegon, the thing that I love about him is he is, at the end of the day, an opportunist in a lot of ways. And he was like, all right, well, I'm just going to take this crate, bash it over this guy's head, and I guess we're going to leave. And I do think it is a real mark of Aegon, the change that he's going to go through. I mean, he's literally basically going cold sober from milk of the poppy.
And women.
Everything. And women, period. And he's in excruciating pain. He has to learn to live with it. He has to learn to defend himself. Like, I do think it will be an interesting shift, like, through this season to see where, like, the change start to come through. Because obviously we know the histories and we know, like, where this ends up going. But I love the way that they're showing this little road trip journey. This was so great where they get like they end up like having to go out on their own and just like figure it out. Really good.
There's a lot of interesting things I think they're gonna do with Aegon, especially the actor Tom Glencarney. He's fantastic as Aegon.
Yes.
And it's gonna be interesting because like where I know where the story leads, like it's gonna be cool to like see how he progresses to that on his little forest journey with little Laris, the clubfoot.
Yeah, because also I think that this will be a great, definitely different education in ruling versus like what if you were to compare Rhaenyra and Aegon, like they were both raised by the same father differently, of course, but like I just feel like, again, Aegon getting read to filth by his own brother in the small council, like there's obviously some huge gaps in his knowledge about what being a king is, what it's like ruling small folk, what your decisions actually mean. And I think it'll be interesting to learn in this way, especially with Laris, who is someone who's especially he's in a big family, like a very proud, strong family, no pun intended, but like he is like a cripple. He's been kind of left on the back burner. He's had to make his own way. So I do think he's such an interesting companion for Aegon to learn from in terms of ruling, especially about like the small folk policy, like anything like that, and really the backdoor dealings of how the Game of Thrones is played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, their whole journey. Next up, let's talk about our future predictions for the season. I mean, even then, like just next episode. So, for me, I would say it's interesting. We saw that that trailer for next episode. It looks like we're going to be having an exchange between Daemon and Ormond Hightower, which he had a very diva entrance the first episode, smelling his little incense.
I love it. Like he's honestly so funny to me. Like I just can't be bothered.
It's interesting if they're gonna go the route of like, does he have OCD where like he just can't stand the smell of just like different
he's like a Howie Mandel kind of person.
Or are there drugs in there? Like it's interesting. Like his little chain that he has. So he's like it's, or he's addicted to bath salts. Who knows?
Yeah, he's like huffing. He's like, it's the only way I can get through my day is like whippets, like medieval whippets. It's like, I don't know, like fermented boysenberries in there or something. But I would love that. I would kind of love like the fantasy coked out like Hightower.
Yeah.
That would be so funny. But
I'm excited to see more of him in the show. That's gonna be cool. Yeah, and also it looks like too with Rhaenyra, she's gonna be talking a bit with Alicent. Like she's clearly gonna be a prisoner in the Red Keep, and it looks like Rhaenyra is going to be going more kind of cruel. We're going to see her getting darker because we see her like burning all the Hightower sigils in like a giant bonfire, and it's going to be really cool. So
I'm really interested in the fact that Alicent is still there. Like appearing to be like out and about. Like I'm assuming she's going to be like confined to quarters or confined to a wing sort of thing, like her and Helena. But this is like the conversation that I think she'll end up having with Alicent will be kind of the conversation I craved with her and Otto Hightower, but in a different font, where it's like discussing like what's been going on. Like I want them to really get into the tea of it. Like, listen, I put you here, so like now what? Like what is your plan? I think Alicent is a great foil for Rhaenyra in this sense. Like in these upcoming episodes, she'll be so great because like Rhaenyra is basically clocking into the fact that she has this prophecy on her back. She has to fulfill this role of like a royal, a queen. And Alicent is doing like the reverse, where she's like been on this path her whole life, and now she's like breaking free and like, but somehow she's still caught in the wheel. So I think like it'll be interesting, their discussions, because they're going to have such like different perspectives now. I mean, obviously they always have, but Rhaenyra's thing with Alicent was always her frustration with Alicent's like attachment to duty and like doing whatever she could to like be perfect.
And her self-righteousness that she felt like she had.
Yes. And now it's like flipped, sort of. Like Rhaenyra feels like she has this really self-righteous purpose in fulfilling the prophecy of the Song of Ice and Fire, or at least like, perpetuating the lineage, like so that can happen. So that is like a very high horse to be on. And like Alicent, meanwhile, is like, all this shit is bullshit. Like, I just like, my daughter wants to raise chickens. Like, I'm out of here. Like, this is all crazy. Like, I think Alicent is more of the volition of like, 2 of your sons died for the sword chair. Like, I think it'll be more like, I'm very curious to see that conversation take place, because they're both like completely flipped in their perspectives now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And one more thing I do want to add, that's something that I did not like whatsoever in the episode that they added. Why do they have to show Allison getting assaulted by Lord Jasper? That made no sense to me.
No sense.
It's not in the source material.
Like
that's
shit.
one thing. That's one thing. It's not in the source material. But like, this is the second episode now that Allison is assaulted, basically. I don't know why at first when Lord Jasper came in, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, he found out about her plot to escape the city and basically flee, trying to like cover up, save her own ass, basically.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. But then it got super weird. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, it just makes no sense. It was very unnecessary. It was for shock value.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
And I don't know if it was like either way, it didn't come through. Like, whatever their vision was for this, like, was not good either way. Yeah. But like, I don't know if they did it because like to show like Allison's still like a woman, like she's still like physically vulnerable, like women are still like they can.
I feel like they showed that perfectly last episode.
Agree. I feel like the fact that she even like basically jerks off Laris with her feet like is plenty enough to see that she sexual atrocities on a regular basis. Like this didn't further the plot. It didn't make if it was just an excuse to imprison him, I think there were other ways. Like
the first option that I said was they should have just had it where he's basically found out about her plot, about her abandoning the Greens. Yeah. And like, I don't know, maybe he physically tries to like take her to the guards and they're like, yeah. And they're like, you can't fucking touch the mother of the queen. Like they easily could have done that. It didn't have to be a whole assault thing.
No, it's so crazy. And again, like while there's so much like, and again, like men, I don't understand, but whatever. I never will. Like I never understand what the reason for the season is with sexual assault and like why, especially when there's so much turmoil happening like in the castle as we speak. And you're like, but yeah, no, I totally agree. It made no sense. Didn't need to happen and completely unnecessary.
Yeah. I mean, it made his death more satisfying when Daemon just slices his head off cleanly, but
yeah, he's like midway, like, can you tell my wife that?
And Daemon's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Girl,
like,
your wife.
Your wife? What were you about to do to Allison? Like
your wife? Yeah, girl, shut up. Like you don't get to say anything. So weird. Which reminded me of like Let Him Keep His Tongue, where he cuts off like half
when he cuts off Daemon's head in season 1.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. After that scene, like it like I was like, it like really put a detriment to me in the episode because I was like, man, this is really getting going. I'm like, and then we stop for this bullshit, but then it continues. But like, yeah, I had to bring that up because
it takes you out of it for a second.
It does. Like, it just didn't make sense. Was not needed. I don't know why they keep putting Allison in these situations. It's like, yeah, we get it. She can be a victim. You know, like I feel like sometimes the writers they're constantly trying to garner sympathy for Allison. So they're like, okay, how can we do that? Because, you know, like she's done like some of these terrible things. So what do we do? Let's make her get physically assaulted. It's like, I feel like it's the cheapest way. I feel
completely. And I think that if you have any sort of nuance in your brain functioning, you've had a level of sympathy for Allison in a lot of ways. Like, yes, she messes up a lot. She makes some really stupid decisions. She obviously, for many like every episode until the last like 5 like was heavily indoctrinated by the patriarchy. She still is. I mean, one of my favorite scenes in all of House of the Dragon so far is when she has that conversation with Rhaenys when Rhaenys is captive in King's Landing, and Rhaenys is like, it's crazy that like you are surrounded by incompetent men you are trying to shove on the throne and you don't even for 1 second think of taking it for yourself because like you're a woman and like you are so attached to the idea of being just like a piece in a puzzle. Like I thought that was so incredibly well done that like if you have any measure of like higher level thinking, you have sympathy for Allison in the sense that she's been indoctrinated her whole life and she felt like she had no choice.
Exactly.
And like whatever, like you understand her level of thinking. I don't think we needed to have her be sexually assaulted to make a point about how
twice, no doubt. Like
literally, like, and the fact it's so stupid. But yeah, I think that the best part about the show is that there's a lot of ways you can have sympathy for almost every person and still hate them within the same scene. Like
everybody's gray in the show,
which is what I love about it. I remember I had this conversation with someone like at the Apple store once, like who was helping us, and he was like team black all the way, like la 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 la, like couldn't see. And again, I'm Queen Rhaenyra, obviously I'm not crazy, but like
that's good. That's good.
I like the ambiguity of it sometimes. Like those are my favorite characters where it's like they really live in the gray area, and I can see your point. Like I can see why you did that. I don't know if I would have made a different decision in your position. And I think people need to have like a moment of honesty with themselves about it, where it's like you really don't know what you would have done in that situation or who you would have been. But which is these characters, despite the fact that it's based in fantasy, really make you think about like just a level of humanity you never quite process, which I think is best done in fantasy because there's so many outside forces that aren't human.
Mm-hmm.
You get to really examine humanity from like a different lens.
Exactly. And the world is so larger than life that like when you do that introspection, it feels even like grander.
Completely.
To an extent. So yeah, it's just a phenomenal episode overall. What did you think of, because we didn't get to talk about them. We didn't get to talk about Alan finding Corlys and Adam on the shores. And Bela's there. We kind of get all like the Valerian family together. It was a brief scene, but I think they warned a little bit of talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I love that scene in a lot of ways where Corlys is like, the only thing I have to give you now is my name.
Yeah.
I understand Alan in a lot of ways where it's like, I mean, it just sounds like bum dad excuse number one is like, I hid you because I loved my wife so much. It's like, if you loved your wife so much, you probably shouldn't have slept with my mom. But
also maybe at least like give me a life, at least like you didn't have to like, at least for me and my brother, like at least you couldn't like set us up a little bit, like giving us like a little villa or something with like some sheep
or like even just money.
Yeah,
even just money, like send some money, child support, something. Because especially it's not like you didn't know. Like it's not like you didn't know when you just found out. Like, so I do think the forgiveness was like a little too hasty for me. Like but I love to hold a grudge. But I think they're coming off a crazy battle. Emotions are probably high. They all lived. Like they thought Corlys might have been dead. Like I think there's a moment of just like gratitude, and you kind of get not like graduation goggles, but it's like post-battle bliss. Like where you're like, we actually can just be a family. And exactly. I do think this scene was beautiful. Like not to say that the vision of the four of them sitting on the beach and looking at burning Driftmark, I think is really beautifully done. But I had that moment where I was like, really? That's what it was? That's all it took?
Yeah.
Abandoning you for all these years, you've saved his life twice, and like now suddenly it's like, call me, I'm gonna call you Papa. Is that too soon? I don't know. Like I think it was like a little too soon for me. But again, I love to hold a grudge.
Yeah, no, I agree. And even to like with Alan, because like we constantly see him like he keeps rejecting Lord Corlys's like offers of like, well, I want to, promote you. I want you to do better in the world. And it's like, well, now you fucking want me to do that now. But I think too with the battle at the Gullet, like the revelation where like he thought Corlys died. He was like, father. And it's like Alan finally was like, you know what? My father may not have been for me in those moments, but now I see that he's truly trying. Like I'm going to at least like accept that. And that line where he says like, I will honor that. And that is more of value to me. You're giving me your name than a mountain of gold. I thought that was such great poetic writing.
I mean, Alan is also definitely in the running for being MVP of this episode.
Yeah, he was definitely the MVP of episode 1 at the Gullet. He was phenomenal.
Absolutely. I mean, he is such a G. And honestly, I think I understand his perspective of like, especially in this world of Westeros, where it's like they come so close to death so constantly. I guess it could be like, might as well have a father while I have time left. I mean, I've lived on my own with just me and my brother and like in poverty for so long. I might as well actually just like do something different, like try something different and like actually see how it goes. So I absolutely understand his perspective and like why. It's just me, I was like, right.
Yeah.
My bum father finally coming home to roost. Well, whatever. But good for Alan. I mean, I hope he gets everything he wants and more. I love him so much.
Yeah. I hope so. He's great, and him and Adam too. Adam's got
Adam
Sea Smoke,
too.
so he's doing great. He's got his fucking dragon. He's gonna
Sea
be.
Smoke is one of my favorites too. I mean, Sea Smoke is the dragon for me. I mean, first of all, just gorgeous in appearance, really, and just was like, I'm just gonna go find a new rider. I mean, like, you guys are weird. Like, I'm gonna go find my person. I'm gonna find a cool guy who seems really chill and loves me. And like, the wand chooses the wizard. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting too to see what happens with Bela and Reyna, because Reyna tried to go back to the Veil, got rejected with Sheep Stealer, so she's on her own now. And poor Bela, she lost her betrothed husband Jace.
What a sin. I loved Jace. He was so reckless, though. I mean, to me, the way that Jace died was so indicative of like who he was, because like his dragon goes down and he like just pops out of the water, does not even consider for a second that he's like in the middle of a battle. Do you know what I mean? Because he's always seen everything from Dragon's Eye view, where it's like, I'm safe from up here. Like, yes, obviously there's threats, but like whatever. I think there was this element of untouchableness that Jace felt, even though his own brother died. That way, like, you know, but the fact that he goes down in the water and just pops up and like sits on a, like, just so exposed, like, and then gets shot, like
three arrows, and that's all it did. And
shocked, like he is shocked. He's like, what? Like, no, it's crazy. I mean, I think it was so brilliantly done. But yeah, poor Bela. I mean, because I feel like they obviously had a lot of affection for each other. I'm really curious because I actually don't remember, like, in terms of the history, like who Bela ends up with. But it would be.
I won't spoil it. I won't say anything.
Yeah, don't tell me. But I would be really interested to see if something happens now that Corlys's bastard children are legitimized.
Yeah.
Because the Targaryens love to intermarry, la la la. So I'm very curious to see. But yeah, Reyna, Diva, I don't think the first thing we should have done when we get a dragon is fly into a battle. I think maybe we should have like done some preliminary exercises before we just fly into a battle with a dragon that's been wild its whole life. Yeah,
that was a very short-sighted decision, and
completely.
Sheep Stealer did not give a fuck. He showed up and he was just spraying everybody.
He's like, everyone's catching a fade. I do not care. He goes, I was just eating sheep in the Vale, minding my business, and now here I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I also like Sheep Stealer with his like little underbite. He's so cute. It's just like, I was literally just.
He's so ugly. I love him.
He's he's like the ugliest dog, but you're like, oh my god, you follow him on Instagram. You're like,
exactly.
Like, but. Reyna, I don't know, because the only person that saw her was Jace,
and Bela. But I think
did Bela see her?
I think she might have, maybe, because she doesn't tell Rhaenyra. Because Rhaenyra says to Daemon, "There's the wild dragon Sheep Stealer was chasing Bela," and Daemon was like, "There's a rider," and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know who it is though." Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see. What is Daemon going to think when he finds out it's his daughter? Is he finally going to? Is he going to step up and finally be a girl dad and protect her? Because if Rhaenyra finds out that it's Reyna and she's still like, I want you to fucking kill her, what's he going to do then? What's
period. Oh, and the fact that she went to the Vale, crazy. I would not have gone to that woman, that frigid bitch. I would not. I would not have gone to her. Like, God bless her. I know she's on her own little journey, fine. But like, that is not the doorstep I would have beat down.
Yeah, Lady Jane did not care.
No, Lady Jane was like, are you on crack?
Yeah.
Take that dragon and GTFO. Like, ain't no way. The prince is dead. I'm not having you darken my doorstep.
Overall, fantastic episode. It was really, really awesome. So let's give our ratings. Kels, what would you rate this episode out of 10?
Out of 10? I'm gonna go 7. I was gonna do like 6.77. I'm gonna go 6.7, around 7.
Damn, that's pretty low.
Well, okay. I
thought I don't know. I thought maybe you might have given like an 8 or something. 6 or 7. That's like,
I know.
Meh.
Not really meh. It's just that I think there's so much more potential coming in the season. So I'm like, I don't want to like give it all away to the first. I don't want to hit the golden buzzer with the first entrant, but I definitely far supersedes the first episode in my opinion. I think that there were some interesting choices, but all in all, I'll do a solid 7. I think solid 7.
Nice. I'm gonna go a 9.5. I really enjoyed this episode a
Wow, I
lot. I
love
thought
that.
like it was just everything that I wanted out of House of the Dragon, and I got all
Mm,
of it, minus some of the scenes I just thought were not needed at all. But
yeah.
other than that, like it was so well done, and very very well done episode. Apparently I've been hearing that the critics who saw the first 4 episodes say that episodes 3 and 4 are like the best in the series.
Really?
So that's going to be interesting to see next week. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I love so much the battle sequences, obviously, like the
Yeah.
one, I mean, they're so amazing, but I really do love, like, I'm really looking forward to the scene between Rhaenyra and Allison after she's taken King's Landing. Like, that is a conversation I'm really looking forward to hearing and seeing what direction they go in. So, like, just as much as I love the dragon battle scenes and like I loved the concept, it's unfortunate that Jace's dragon had to die.
Yeah.
But that is such an interesting concept, like the way that they used to battle dragons, like when dragons were an active threat, like
Yeah.
the weighting down and drowning it is fascinating, like really
Yeah.
interesting. But
So sad too. It's like seeing a puppy die. It's like it's
it's
awful.
horrible. Oh, it's
It's
such
like
a terrible way to go.
and you know, like when they cry and everything, like it's so sad. Like
It's
it
so
really
sad.
is.
And
Yeah.
Jace just has to like release and like let go, and then of course like he also dies. But I love all the battle sequences, but it's those like emotional conversations and like that back and forth that really endear me in a lot of ways to House of the Dragon and even Game of Thrones. It's like those complex conversations are what really get me. So I'm really looking forward to what they do with the characters like coming together in different ways, especially now that there's like huge key players back in King's Landing and there's still kind of a war going on because Aegon is still alive. Like, and Aemon is still out there with Vagar, and Christian Cole still being a Debbie Downer and a drama.
Yeah, he's in his nihilistic poetry era. He's just
And
it's
like
almost like comedic. It's almost like comedic relief at this point with Kristen Cole. It's like
completely.
let's see what nihilistic bleak bullshit Kristen Cole's gonna spew in a monologue in this next scene he's in. It's like
because I completely got when in last season when he said that little speech to Sir Gawain about like we're all just like dust under their feet. For 1 minute I was like, yeah, like I feel you there, brother. Like I really do. Like but also the only scene he was in this episode was like his like one of his soldiers took liberties with a town girl and Sir Gawain is like, hey, so that can't
that was
happen.
in
He's like,
episode 1.
oh, was it in episode 1? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they're all like running
No,
together
it's
for me
okay.
now because
It's
I
all right.
rewatched
It's an
1
important.
before
It's
I
an
watched
important
2.
scene though. Like
Because it's like so you basically got your heart broken one time and now it's everyone's problem. Like that is his whole thing. It's like you got hurt one time by one girl and now it's everyone's problem.
Yeah. And I get it. Like in some ways he was in a way in love with her, but also it was a selfish thing where he was like, oh, let's just marry so I can have my honor instilled upon me, even because I slept with a princess as a king's guard. And now he makes it everyone's problem.
You, by the way, didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
She was like a teenage girl. You could be like, no.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, also
no.
appreciate the princess too. You know,
I guess, but it's
he was pressured a little, but I do understand what you're saying. Though I do.
It's like, I don't have to go in your room. I don't have to, like, you know what I mean? When he was taking off his armor in season 1, I was like, Kristen, I'm
he
sorry.
Really
you
thought his orange and his cinnamons were gonna compare to a 200-year-old dragon lord dynasty that she had to inherit.
unless you come with a dragon dynasty prophetic dreams and the whole 9, you're not getting her. I'm so sorry. It's not gonna play out the way you want, and do not be embarrassed. It's just like we need to learn something from this. Like, girl, and take your L and move along.
Yeah.
I'm
even
exhausted.
then, Rhaenyra said, like, you know, we can still hang out. We can still be with each other. It's just, I just have to marry someone else. It's a political thing, but I still want you to stay with me. And
he's like,
we can still have our fun. He's like, you want me to be your side piece?
Clutches his pearls.
It's like, what did you think was going to happen?
Girl, you were my side piece from the rip. I don't know where the miscommunication happened. You are my guard, and I'm the princess, the crowned heir to the throne.
Yeah,
baby.
This isn't a fucking fairy tale book. This is a realistic fantasy world. Like, what did you expect?
He is such he really took such a dip for me. He really irritates me so much, but what is why his character is so brilliant. I mean, like, he really is like, girl, a lover scorned, making it
Yeah.
everyone's issue.
Yeah, they've done a great job, I think, with Kristen. Even though I loathe every time he's on screen,
But that's like his
great.
point. It's like when we do the wrestling show, it's like I'll hate a heel so much and like rant and rave, and I'm like, that's how you know they did a good job, because like I'm so irritated by them. So it's like he's doing his job. The actor is incredible, but yeah, he really will. We'll see what happens, because now they're making for Harrenhal.
Yeah.
So we're
It's
gonna
be
see.
interesting it's gonna be interesting to see what him and Gwen are gonna get up to in the war.
I can't wait I hope Alice is still there. Like, I hope Alice, I mean, I'm sure she will be because she's taking care of Eamon. Like, I'm really curious to see Alice and Kristen Cole and Sir Gawain in a room together.
I'm excited to see what witchery she's going to mess with him and do.
I can't wait because, again, like
I got
Damon
some fun theories on what she's going to do. So, yeah.
I can't wait because, again, Damon and Eamon have such a parallel path, sort of, but just different fonts.
Exactly.
So very curious to see about his time with Alice. That's my girl. Yeah. I love that freaky little bitch. I just love her.
She's going to be great the rest of the season. She will be. But overall, fantastic episode. Kels, thank you so much for discussing with me. I had a lot of fun. You were great. Before we go, if you want to say again where people can find your podcast before we close out.
Well, thank you for having me. This was so great. Thank you for letting me be like a long-winded about something I love very much.
That's okay. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to go in depth with this.
Thank God. And I will anytime. I love House of the Dragon. I love all this stuff. But so you can find our show at N2W podcast on all socials. Follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever social media is. You might find us and we can talk about wrestling and some other BS, but that's where you can find me.
Amazing. All right, guys. Well, that's going to conclude our review of season 3, episode 2 of House of the Dragon. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you also follow Kelsey's podcast as well on YouTube and all the other platforms that I will put in the comment section down below. Thank you again, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye.